Welcome to Senior Insights. My name is Cynthia, and today I'm just going to talk about whatever comes out of my mouth because I didn't plan this and I just felt like I wanted to make a video, so I came over here. I hope you can see me. The lighting is really bad, but I do have lighting shining on me, the star of the show. Anyway, where shall I begin? Well, every other time I begin with, well, I got up this morning. Well, I noticed that I'm getting up a little bit later. It was 8 o'clock this morning, so that's not a good thing because I don't want to get up at 8. I want to get up between 7 and 7:30. So see if you can put a hex on me or something and see if we can do that. Speaking of hexes, my sister called me the other day and she said, "You'll never guess what I did." And I said, "What?" And she said, "I went to a psychic." And I said, "Oh, you did?" And she said, "Yes, I went to a psychic. And it was really weird." She said, "But I'm going to go again and see if the next one that I go to tells me the same thing." Apparently, she was very impressed with the psychic. She's a famous one in New Hampshire. She told me her name. I tried to look her up, but I couldn't find her, so she can't be that famous. Or I had a senior moment and can't remember her name because I didn't write it down. And now I can't remember it at all. It was a couple of days ago that she told me. Anyway, this psychic told her several things that seemed to pertain to her life. So I don't know. I don't particularly believe in psychics. I know a lot of people go to them and they try to reconnect with the dead, which is how she happened to go. Her daughter went because she had some unresolved issues with her grandfather who passed away, and she wanted to see if she could connect with him. So she did, and she had a wonderful session with this psychic. So my sister went, and she was like giddy, laughing about it, and she was kind of excited and kind of freaked out by it, and kind of weird. She said, "You should try it. I don't think I'm interested in that." Have any of you ever gone to a psychic? I'm curious to see, what you think. I personally don't believe in it, and if you're a Christian, it's kind of a no-no. But I can see why people would have fun. They have parties and stuff where they'll have a psychic come and she'll do readings for everyone, for a fee, of course. I said, how expensive was it? And she said, well, it was, I think she said $45 for 45 minutes. So I didn't think that was too bad. I was thinking, since this was a famous person, supposedly, that it would be more like over $100. So anyway, if you're thinking of having a psychic for your party, I did a little bit of research. And what they do is you hire the psychic first, and then each person who wants a reading pays individually for the reading. So I don't know how that works. I've never went to one, and I don't plan on going to one, and no one ever invites me to those kind of parties anyway. So what else did I do? I did my video on my watercolors. I did that and I posted it, and I was kind of surprised when I was doing it. I'm saying, these are really not what you imagined they were. Because I had to dig them out because I had them put away because, there's not too many places to store things. But I think many of them will go into the declutter bin. Maybe I'll donate them to Goodwill and somebody will think it's a famous artist or something. I don't know. I could try and see. I could put them in there one day and then go back the next day and see if they're still there. If they're not there, then I'll know that somebody really thought they were really cool. Then I recorded another video for next Sunday because I don't know if I told you this, but I'm going to try and do specific topics on specific days. I'm still going to do videos every day. I'm going to try and change it up again because we're just not getting the views. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to try a few different things. I didn't do a thumbnail on the video with the flowers. I'm going to see how that works because supposedly the thumbnail is the most important thing. I thought I had some pretty good thumbnails, but apparently not enough to attract anybody. You're hearing my tea kettle. I'm making some tea. Hold on. Well, I got my tea. Feel free to get one for yourself. I shouldn't be drinking tea because it's 8:15 in the evening, and did you know that tea has more caffeine than coffee? I didn't really know that, but I'm taking a risk here. But I also am going to have a bedtime snack. I don't know if you can see it, but I made banana bread today. Now, I know a lot of people like cooking channels, but I can't, over in my kitchen, it's very dark, so I can't do it. I thought about it, and then I said, no. Plus, my filming with the camera is really bad. I'm like tipping it upside down, and the lighting isn't good. So when I get the lighting fixed, which I intend to do because that's going to be one of the frugal things that I do, something that's going to improve my life that's worth an investment. So I am going to have some lighting, some additional lighting put under my kitchen cabinets so that I can see what I'm doing in the kitchen. And maybe I can film a few things. So I made the banana bread. The other day I made granola and I filmed it, but I can't even remember if I posted it or not because I do one thing one day and then I forget the next day what I did. So anyway, I made the banana bread, but you know where I got the bananas? I got them out of my freezer. I don't know if any of you freeze your bananas when they're going bad or when they're overly ripe. I saw on YouTube, most likely on a video, that someone did that, and when their bananas were ripe, and that they made things with bananas. So I tried it, and I'll tell you, they look really gross. They get all brown. They thaw practically instantly, and there's a lot of fluid that leaks out of them. So a person in their right mind probably wouldn't use them because they look pretty awful. They don't smell bad or anything, but I use them. And I used them a couple of weeks ago when I made banana bread. It's the only thing that I make because I like to have snacks when I have my tea in the middle of the afternoon. So, oh, that's really hot. So anyway, I made the banana bread with those frozen bananas. Well, I thawed them. It tastes the same. It doesn't taste any different. The flavor isn't diminished or enhanced or anything. It's just the same, and it sure looks nice. I hope you don't mind if I eat in front of you, but what the heck, we're friends, right? We're hanging around together. It's 8:15 on a Saturday night. I have nothing else to do. I'm not going to any dance or anything, so I thought I'd hang around with you. The other thing I forgot to tell you the other day, I went grocery shopping, and I was really excited, because we're trying to be frugal, and we're trying to save money, and we're trying not to spend it everywhere we go. But I actually went to my local grocery store, Hannaford's. I'm sorry, I put my teacup on the receipt. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but anyway, you can't see it, but I got $20 off of my grocery order if I spent $100. So I was at the register, and as the lady was ringing up my order, I said, "Oh, I hope I made $100." And she said, "It looks like you might have." So I said, "Okay, but you got to let me know if I didn't." So I think I checked out at 104. How's that for? I thought that was pretty good. That I guesstimated close to 100. I only went $4 over. That's not too bad. But anyway, I had a $20 coupon. It was the store rewards card, and every so often they give you like a significant reward for being such a loyal customer. So I did that, and that made me feel good because I have been really trying not to spend too much money on groceries because I have gone way over budget for February and March. Actually, it's just in March, and I had to move it into April, and then I had to move it into April, May. So I probably wouldn't be able to buy anything at a grocery store until June by the time I was done. So I know I told you this because it's sounding familiar in my head. But anyway, I'll tell you again. I had to increase my budget by 175, up to 175. So hopefully that'll work out better for me. As far as being frugal goes, I'm telling you, I don't know what has happened to me. I don't know if it's YouTube, it's saving $20 yesterday, or I think what it was actually looking at how I was spending my money and where it was actually going, figuring out what my biggest expenses were, and becoming shocked by that. So I set up a budget with strict limits on how much money I could spend. No more Amazon randomly spending. I still have purchased things on Amazon, like the dog's flea collar. Well, I had to get that, but nothing just because I thought I'd like it, not like I used to do. So I have stuck to my budget every single month now, January, February, March. It's April. And I have gone grocery shopping, but other than that, I have not spent anything. And my money, I am saving money. I know you don't know what my finances are anyway, but I'll tell you in my emergency fund, which was Zippo practically, because I kept taking out of it, I have like $4,000. And I have one account for my fixed income and one for the quarterlies and the annuals and stuff like that. And then the savings account is for an emergency fund. So I'm actually seeing it accumulate some money, which is nice because I've also started thinking about what am I going to do for a car. For those of you who don't know, I leased my car and it was the worst decision that I ever made financially, because I'm into it for a lot of money. I could have bought a brand new car for the amount of money that I've actually spent on leasing. But that's water over the bridge. I'm leasing it. I still have 2 more years to go, and I know that I'm not going to lease again, but that means that I'm going to have to buy a car. And my intention is to either buy back that car, the car that I'm using right now, or to purchase another new used car, and probably not one as expensive as the one that I have now. Right now I have a Honda CR-V, and I've been looking at the Hyundais, and I think Chevy has an actual little SUV. I need to have a car with 4-wheel drive because I live on a dirt road, and over the river and through the woods, it can get hairy in the winter. And I also have a steep driveway that I really mostly park at the top of the driveway in the winter, but I prefer to park at the bottom. So that's why, I need 4-wheel drive. Anyway, you probably don't need to know that. So that's about all I did. I made banana bread. I vacuumed the floor for the 100th time. Oh, I didn't tell you this, or maybe I did in another video. Skittles, my tortoise, has disappeared. I showed you his tracker. Well, he knocked the tracker off. He's very smart for a tortoise. I cannot find him anywhere in this house. Now, it's been several days. I can't remember if it was Tuesday or Wednesday that he disappeared. My mind wants to say Tuesday. So that's been quite a long time. I know he's here because he pooped in the bathroom, on the bathroom floor. And it was his poop. Small, tiny little thing, and almost looks like mice thing. He's small. He weighs less than, he weighs right around a half a pound. So I know he's tootling around here someplace, but I cannot find him. So hopefully he doesn't die of starvation. I have food out for him, but he doesn't know where it is. This is a big world for him. So if you ever have a tortoise, call me first. I'll give you the ins and outs of what you need to do. Now, I know that having a tortoise is kind of weird, too, but I do things that are different, and sometimes I do things just for the sake of doing it, like just for the reaction. Like my kids said, "You're getting a tortoise?" Yeah, I'm getting a tortoise. Why would you want a tortoise? Well, why wouldn't you? It's actually kind of interesting. He burrows and he digs holes. And he does, I don't think he's really intelligent enough to really respond to his name being called. But if I'm going to feed him and he's way across his habitat and I say, "Skittles, it's time for dinner," he comes running across the thing. So, anyway, I guess I've entertained you enough for tonight. I hope that when you see this, maybe it'll be at nighttime and maybe it'll be a good send-off for you. I want to remind you, though, remember that you are a walking, talking miracle. Don't ever forget it. Thanks. I will see you in the next video. Please like, subscribe, and comment if you want. Thank you. Bye-bye.